If you subscribe right now, you'll get a free leopard, running not included. What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to more Gates of Hell developers update, and today we're going to be looking at, well, the next developer updates that's been released on the Gates of Hell. And this is the 106, so we're definitely getting up there in the developers update, and this is the mod of the month competition. So if you don't know what mods are in this game, let me break it down to you. Mods are basically an addition to the game that make the game more fun. So as you know, currently in the game we have some campaign missions, we have some PvEs, new maps being added into the game by the developers themselves. But mods make that a wee bit more funner because they can add in factions that aren't already in the game, plus different maps that already aren't added in, some missions that are really fun to play. So mods definitely give this game a big boost to the community, as well as it also lets you see how creative people are with the mods and how well they can do. So mods are definitely a great addition to this game, and definitely should be implemented in all games. But today the developers have a certain thing in mind to do with the mod, so let's go over it and read what it says. So today I'm going to be breaking down everything that this has to say, and if you guys do like what I do with my breakdowns, so make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you stay tuned for more updates on Gates of Hell. So this is called the mod of the month competition, or in this case I'll be using this thumbnail because it looks cool, called mod competition. So let's zoom in and let's see. By the way, the screenshot was taken by RUSST G44, so great picture there, thank you for helping me use it for the thumbnail. Let's zoom in and we are going to see what it says. So hopefully you guys can now see it better. So it says, community members, it's time to talk about our mod competition. We will start the competition today, so that was Friday the 19th of November. That's when this note was released, or when this developers update was released, so November the 19th. The aim is to celebrate the best achievement in Call to Arms Gates of Hell community, brought to you by mod makers from all over the world. So it's nice to see that actually now the developers are actually bringing, because all these mods are very useful, but they're not being used for anything in particular, of course, to help the community and play it, all that, but they're not specifically used for kind of doing for competitions, which I really like. So it says the history of this, or history. In the development of Call to Arms Gates of Hell, we always wanted to make sure that modding would be easy, or would be as easy as we could make it as possible, which I definitely disagree, because it is this current modding, or how to mod, is not easy. It's just the same as Call to Arms and Men of War Scott 2. Nothing has changed, and the way that they tell you how to do it is just not changed. So I still find it very hard, and that's why I haven't done any modding, because I still find this modding very difficult. So I would definitely disagree with that. But anyway, let's continue. The result of our design choices is a moddable game, which is true, which is more extensive and refined in terms of mechanics than its predecessors, which is true as well, because it is, I don't know if it is extensive, it's just, I see there is more options, and it's a lot more detailed when it comes to this game, when it comes to modding. But I see where they're coming from, but if it's talking about just like plain old just the same instructions, nothing has changed. I definitely don't, well, I'm not a modder, so I can't say that, but I just, from the way that I've seen it and the way that it tells you how to do modding, is exactly the same. Nothing's really changed. But let's carry on. These refinements raise the bar slightly for mod creators. I agree. However, with 300 mods available in the workshop, which is a lot, I didn't actually know that. That's amazing. Right now, we think there is ample proof that it's not really a problem for our modding community. That if you're a talented mod maker, then yes, it's easy. For starting out mod makers like myself, we find it very difficult, and I feel like Gates of Hell have done nothing to help us with it. So basically they're saying, I feel like what they're saying is that it's very easy for professional mod makers who have no problem with it, which is easy, but they don't want to basically make it easier for mod makers who are beginners at it, who have no idea how to mod this game, and they only concentrate on professionals like a good friend of mine, OJ, who's a very good mod maker, or Sturm for PK, who's an absolute amazing mod maker as well. So far I'm not very happy, but I see where they're coming from this. But last but not least, we decided not long ago that we'll provide for a modding SDK. If any of you modders know what SDK means, then let me know, because I have no idea what that means, which makes modding more accessible and importantly easier. If that's true for any mod makers out there, then if it's true, then let me know, because I've started modding slightly and I just don't know 100% of the modding yet. So if there are any professional mod makers out there, then do you think, is this true? Does it make it more accessible and importantly easier? So let me know. We have no date set for this to be ready, but this is our list and we will let you know the time frame as soon as we can. So they've decided to provide a modding SDK which makes modding more accessible and importantly easier. So that is actually very good. I'm very happy with this. This is something that I bet a lot of mod makers would be happy with, especially beginner mod makers like myself who just want to just learn it as quickly as possible. But unfortunately, when they tell you instructions, they do give you like a site, or they do give you a instructions page to go down, but it's not as detailed as a video you can find on YouTube. It's just not detailed enough. But if this is true and they are going to make modding more accessible and importantly easier, then I would expect this to be very true. But they said they have no date for it, and it's on their list, and they'll let us know the time frame as soon as we can. Now, if this is true, then I'm very happy to see this. If this is true and it is on their list and it is going to happen, then I'm very happy, because I really hope they redo the whole instructions of how to make a mod. You know, break it down set by set, or step by step, I should say, of how to actually make a mod. You know, break it down into, into actually how to make a map, and then break it down into actually how to make a mission, and then to add stuff in or port things from Men of War Squad 2 into different things. It'd be so good if we could do that. And I mean, fortunately, we have an amazing YouTube channel called Sturm for PK, who's also another great YouTuber. So make sure you go check his channel out, because he actually put a whole load of videos on about how to make mods and break everything down, so make sure you go check him out. Yes, so where was I? Sorry, door went off and all that. Anyway, so where was I? Yes, so if this is true with the modding SDK, then this has to be a very big improvements to the modding. It's going to be huge. This has done more work than any other than any other Call to Arms or previous games, such as the original Call to Arms and the Men of War Squad 2. This is huge, and I'm really hoping they stick to their word and really do release this and make it easier. I'd like to know what they actually do for this. I genuinely have no idea. If it is like a full breakdown of how to actually make a mod and make a map, then that is absolutely brilliant, and there'll be a lot more creators out there able to make a mod. But I just feel like just now it's just not. I just don't think it's even worth making a mod just now until at least they've got this out on release, because that would be so much easier. And I really hope they do explain in further detail what the modding SDK could mean and what is available to us new mod makers. Anyway, so that is the history behind it. Now let's actually go on to the main thing which everybody wants to know, which is the competition. So with this competition, we aim to put a spotlight on the work that is being done in the community. This is very important work, because as we all know, there's no such thing as too much content for the game, which is very true. You can't get too much content. It's time to put a spotlight on the best mod out there. This is about rules and about how we can plan to run the competition. So the competition is basically is very important, and they obviously want to get the community more involved in about the modding section, which is awesome. And they also we aim to put a spotlight on the work that is being done in the community, which is true. So like I said, they obviously want work to be done with the community, and want to see what the community have got, and see their ability to do what their ability there is with the mods that they're able to make. So this is very important. because as there's no such thing, there's no such thing as too much content. Yes, I know I just spluttered words there. It's time to put a spotlight on the best mods out there. This is about the rules and about how we can plan it to run the competition. So yeah, so this is the what question. So these are the rules, and this is, so the first one is going to be the what questions, and the next one is going to be the how questions. So let's start off with the what questions. So mods in the workshop already should comply with certain rules. On top of that, we have our own requirements for this competition, which is good because, as you know, workshops and mods do have rules, and as they said, they already should comply with some rules, such as, I presume you're not allowed to put anything like related to war crimes, any Nazi signs, anything like this, because that would definitely break the rules, and I can imagine it would offend a lot of people. So I'm glad they do have rules, and they just don't let anybody do anything they want, because that would it would hurt a lot of people, and it wouldn't be good. So it's good that they do have certain rules in action when it comes to the workshop and modding. And it goes the same with their own competition that they're making. Mods can be anything from custom maps, custom missions, custom mechanics, new units, skins, sounds, to bigger modifications combining one or more aspects. So you can literally do anything. It's telling you can do it from custom maps, custom missions, custom mechanic, new units. So that could be like a faction that isn't already in the game. It can be skins, sounds, to bigger modifications combining one or more aspects. So you can combine modifications together to get even a bit more, to get one or more, a bigger aspect of it. We think it would be unfair to choose from November's entries only, which is completely fair. Yup, I agree. This competition is open for all mods that were made for Gates of Hell so far. So every mod that has been made on the Gates of Hell workshop is going to be included in this competition, and it's not just going to be from November's entries only, because if they did that, I would find that very unfair, and a lot of people would start questioning, emailing the developers, doing everything. So I'm glad they're letting everybody who's made a mod so far to able to take part, which is absolutely amazing, and I think they should do more of, and every game should do that. The prize for the mod, so everybody wants to know what the prize is for the competition, what you win. So for the prize for the mod, which is packed as a winner by Barbed Wire Studios, it's picked by Barbed Wire Studios, couldn't get that out, is a key with early access to the next faction, which is awesome. And on top, that one wins 2 keys to the next faction to give away to 2 friends after release. Now that is a really, really cool thing to give away, because as we know in the last update, they announced that they're going to be doing a faction. And probably, but I can tell it's going to be probably the British faction. The fact that they've brought in a Lend-Lease program for the Russians, and you can get to see the Churchill, the Valentines, is kind of more leaning towards it could be a British faction at this point, but I could be wrong. It could be American, it could be the Japanese, it could be the Polish, it could be so many factions out there, but I'm guessing it could probably be Britain. And also that one wins 2 keys for the next 2 factions to give to friends away. So any of you mod makers and win this, and hit me up. I'm joking, because I know that wouldn't be fair. If you're a mod with a team, so if you're making a mod with, let's say, 3 people, then the team get the sum of 3 early access keys, which is awesome. So Barbed Wire Studios are thinking about not just if you're making one by yourself, but if you're working as a team, then that is awesome as well, because you're all able to get keys even if you work as a group, which is really good, kind of thinking outside the box. So I like that. I very much do like that. The winner will be picked by us, of course, Barbed Wire Studios, and the community winner, who gets a mention in the dispatches, which is, I don't really know what that means. If anybody in the dispatches, I presume that means like dispatches in Discord, or I don't know what that means. Whoever knows what that means, can you let me know down below, because that would be really cool. Will be picked by you. Both winners will also get the Master Mod tag on Discord. That is really cool as well. These are some very generous rewards that we are giving. It would also be nice to also maybe get early access to maybe a next mission, or even if we get early access to maybe a new another faction as well, maybe add 2 factions, or I could be maybe just be saying that, but I think maybe you should add, if let's say like they should do, maybe I don't know, this sounds stupid, but the way I feel like, let's say people, what happens if people post more than one mod on the competition? So let's say this one person who makes the mod puts in 2 entries for that competition. Does that mean 2 of their mods could win the mod or the competition? And in that case, that I would kind of think that would be unfair, because it doesn't give other people... Sorry guys, so back to what I was saying earlier. When I said that when 2 people could enter the competition with, let's say one person could enter the competition with 2 of their mods, does that mean that they could enter technically with 2 of their mods, and that means they could win? Because like I said, in that case, that would just be really unfair, and it just wouldn't give other modders to put in their entries. So I kind of question whether they didn't really explain that, and I wish they kind of would, because then we're kind of unsure, because people can easily just take modders can easily just take advantage just to put in multiple entries of their mods, and in that case, then does that give other modders a chance to put their mods forward? So let's say the publishers or the developers, let's say you guys pick 2 mods that are exactly from the same person that you really like compared to anybody else's. Would you pick those 2? And if you did, I would very much consider that a very unfair compared to other, because I know there's lots of modders out there. So developers, I would really like you to really be careful who you choose, and not just pick the duplicate just because they're really good at mods, and make it fair so everybody gets a chance. So if you guys are trying to go take advantage of that, please don't. Just please let other modders have a chance to make their mods as well. Make sure everybody gets an entry in it, and make sure everybody gets a chance to play fair in this competition, because it's not about cheating, it's not about copying each other's work. It's about making your own work, see how well you can do in it, and putting a lot of effort into it. So please, modders out there, don't take advantage of this. Please don't just put in multiple. You can put in multiple, I don't know if you can actually put in multiple entries for mods, but don't basically cheat the system. And developers, please be sensible with your choices, because I really hope that you are going to pick different people and not just like 2 mods from the same person. So in that case, really try and please really be careful, and please be fair when it's picking to choosing modders, developers. Now let's go on to let's now go into what are the requirements to enter this competition. So it must be historically orientated, so any historical era. So it could be like World War One, World War Two, it could even be the Cold War, it could be maybe a version of World War Three, but it has to be a historical era, so not possibly World War Three. So it could be World War One, it could be World War Two, it could be the Cold War, possibly any of those dates, I'm thinking. And it must be publicly available in the Steam Workshop for the community. So yes, please make it open so other people can play it. So when the developers do actually pick it, so it means that other people in the community can play that mod as well, and then you be able to get the recognition. Because if you make it private only for yourself and a few other friends, then that's just not very fair, and you're not letting everybody see what your work is like, and it just wouldn't be fair. So please make sure that your mod is open to everyone. Next, content must be original from the creator or have permission from other authors to use their work and be properly credited. Using content from other games is only allowed for games made by Barbed Wire Studios or Digital Mindsoft. So that would be games like Metaverse Squad 2, the original Call to Arms, like kind of the modern Call to Arms, and I think that's it. I think those are the only 2 games that I can think of that are war related to this. But yes, please you must be the original creator, because it wouldn't be fair just to steal others' work. Or if you are using others' work, then make sure you have permission from other authors to use their work and be properly credited, because if you use their work and then don't give them credit, then you'll probably just be disqualified, and the developers will know this and communities will know this as well. So please make sure if you are using other people's work, then try not use it, try use your own, or if you are asking for help or you are using a wee bits of others modders in, please give them the credit that they deserve, because they do not deserve just to be cheated behind your back and just not give them credit, because that is very not fair, and you will be disqualified for the competition, and that modder who you ask for the help will probably get that prize, or will probably become, you know, will be entered in the competition. So make sure you play fair. Next is content. It contains no Nazi symbols or anything associated with war crimes. Now, this is something that I kind of guessed. I did kind of read this before, and this is something I did say earlier, is that, yeah, guys, let's not make this very much related to war crimes or no Nazi symbols, because it really does, you have to be really careful nowadays with what you put up on the internet, on the Reddit, on the community, even to the publishers, because a lot of people might find this offensive. I have someone like myself who is Jewish. I might find this offensive. Luckily, I don't take these things to heart, but some people who are Jewish or who find these things offensive, then please just don't put any Nazi symbols, because the publishers, or the developers, sorry, I should say, will know that you will put these Nazi things or anything with war crimes, because it won't be not fair. And I know historically the Nazis were a thing back in World War II, but put them as Germans, not as Nazis, because that's the more appropriate term to put them. You can put them as and it just wouldn't be fair. So please be cautious of when you're making your mod, and you're making a mission or a map or anything. Try not make it anything related to the Nazi symbol or Hitler or anything like that, or with war crimes, because it's just not a very nice topic to go into, and I'm sure a lot of the developers do not want to go into that type of thing. So I completely understand, and I really appreciate what they're doing with it. So thank you very much for the developers for doing that. Right, and you can see we got some nice photos here of like a couple of T-34s moving up the hill. And then, okay, we're going to be moving on to the how questions. So first we need candidates for the title, for which we will use our website. So they're going to use our website for the title, for the, you know, competition, all that. When submissions are closed, the judging can start. The formal winner is elected by our panel of judges, which is the developers, which consists of developers, publishers, and contributors. So that'd be people like Sharminator, or could possibly be people like other high-rated YouTubers or contributors that are on part of the community of Gates of Hell. The community winner will be elected by the community. This is the process. So this is how the process will go down when you enter the competition, of course, when it will also end as well. So a competition page is opened on the Barbed Wire Studios website, so make sure you go visit the Barbed Wire Studios website to enter the competition, because that's where it will be at, so you can enter. Next, mod creditors submit their candidate mod for review on our website. So yeah, make sure you go into the mod creditors and then submit your mod there on their website. So that means you can submit your mod, and that means the developers, contributors, publishers, and all that can look at it. Next, a panel of experts reviews the entries and puts the best on a shortlist. So when you put your mod on the website, then what the panel will do, or what the publisher will do, they'll pick the best ones and then put them into a wee shortlist. So that means they can narrow it down to see which one they want to pick as a winner. And then next, the same panel elects the best mod of the month from that list. I'm guessing what this means is that when the same panel, so the people who still, you know, the same panel, it's still the same, nothing changes for the panel, it's still the same people who judge on it, elects the best mod of the month. Oh yeah, so they basically pick the best mod for the month from that list, and I'm hoping it may change each month. So maybe in December they pick the best mod, and then in January they pick a different mod, and then in February pick a different one. So I really hope it's kind of like a rotation thing and not just one winner for the whole thing. I really hope it's kind of just like a best mod for each month, which would be really cool to see. So that means everybody gets a chance of being a winner, if that makes sense. So that means everybody can win, or at least gets a chance to win. And then the shortlist is opened for the public voting, which runs for 7 days. So everybody who isn't maybe a modder and just wants to vote, then it is open for 7 days for the public voting. So make sure, guys, if you like a mod that you really like or you really want to support someone, then make sure you go vote for them, because it only will last for 7 days. Next, the master modders are announced on Discord. So that means once the person wins, that means the master modders are announced on Discord. So that means they will be called master modders on Discord. Both gets increased bragging rights. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds awesome. So you'll get increased bragging rights, which means the developers will suck your dick. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Take a joke. This means that you'll get more attention than necessary. Again, I'm joking. I don't know what that means. That could mean anything. Studio appointed winner receives the keys. The winner keys. Yup. So the studio appointed winners receives the winner's keys. That'd be really cool to see. To see who wins that. And I'd also like to see who wins it, and yeah, which we'll definitely know. And then submissions close November 30th, 2021 at 11:59 PST. So that is actually the end of this month. So make sure you get your entries in now, because it actually ends in a couple days. I believe it ends in 24, 25. Ends in 6 days. 6 days, everyone. So make sure, or sorry, 7. I'm holding up 7 when I count 6. I know I'm dumb. 7 days to enter, unless you're 31 days, which I don't think there is. So 7 days to enter. So make sure you get your entries now for all modders who want to do this now. I feel like they could have announced this a lot earlier within last month, because this just gives you so little time. This literally gives you so little time to enter, and I feel like they maybe should have published this a wee bit earlier, but maybe earlier last month or something like that, but it's understandable. And then we can imagine that people will start lobbying their favorite mods now. That's perfectly okay, of course, however, when you visit the workshop, don't forget to rate that mod you've been using for all those hours. It's time to give something back to the people that have winded the scope of this game, because that's what it's all about. In the meantime, you can join our Discord to make sure you don't miss any of it. That's perfect. So yeah, so you can still start lobbying for your favourite mods now, and they're saying that's perfectly okay, of course. However, when you visit the workshop, don't forget to rate the mod. So when you go into the workshop you've been playing with, make sure you rate it, because that'll give a better idea for the publishers to easily pick for a winner, I presume. So make sure you go do that as well. And then of course, and then they say it's time to give something back to the people that have been winded the scope of this game, because that's what it's all about. Definitely, I totally agree with what they're saying there, is that it is time to give something back to the people who've put a lot of effort and work into mods, and it's not really appreciated. It's not really done anything except for maybe add a few additions onto the game. But now we've actually got a competition. We can really see what the modders can put, what skills they can put to the test, and see how well they do. So I really do like that. And it says in the meantime you can join our Discord to make sure you don't miss any of it. So yeah, make sure you guys go join the Discord, because if you don't want to miss any of the competition that's happening, then make sure you go check the Discord, which I might link down below. And also, did you know that we've added a German spokesman and moderated channels on our Discord server? So that's now for anybody who's German. That means you'll be able to speak German to each other. And then on Discord, we'll soon start publishing a short developers brief on Saturdays. So that means as on Saturdays, hopefully now that you guys will be able to see the publishing, you'll be able to see developers briefs on Saturdays, every Saturday. So that means you'll get up to date on everything you need to know about this game. And then lastly, the channel for briefs is called Developers Telegraph, and it'll start ticking before 2021 is over. So yeah, again guys, make sure you go all check this out in the Discord server, because it'll all be there for you if you want to check out all the news and stats for this game. And then that's it for the moment. Thanks for stopping by, and see you on the battlefield. So overall, what do I think of this, and do I think this is a brilliant idea that developers done? I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think this is a really good way to get in touch with the community, especially people like mod makers who have just been making mods for years and years on Medieval Squad 2, Call to Arms, and now Gates of Hell, and it's now finally giving them a chance to put their skills to the test after all those years and seeing which one is the best. So it's really good to see now that the developers getting back with the community, and now seeing what the modders can finally do it, and they actually get something for it besides getting nice comments and all that, which is really good and all that, but people want rewards for their hard work. So this is exactly what Gatesville is doing. This is really amazing. Something I am a wee bit worried on is that this modding SDK, if they say that this modding is more accessible and importantly easier, I really hope that what I'm thinking it is, then I really hope it's true. I really wish that when they do add this modding SDK, I really hope they kind of break it down into actual instructions of how to make a map, of how to make of how to make a mission, of how to import things from another game. If they do this, there'd be a huge game changer to modding, and I think it'd be accessible to everyone except from experienced modders, which is currently really happening just now. It's only really it's only really good for really good modders who are really good at mod making for these type of games. It's just, for me, I've never modded in my life. I'm starting to learn, but I find it too difficult. Even if I watched Doomverse BK's video who explained it very well, I just find it difficult, and I wish the developers themselves would just put a proper instructions instead of importing the ones from Men of Roscoe to or Call to Arms, which I think is quite lazy, and I just don't think is very good. But other than that, guys, that is it for today. I really hope you did like this news review of the mod competition. What do you think of it? Do you believe that this modding SDK will actually help modding be easier and more accessible, or do you think it's still going to be the same and nothing's going to change? What do you think for the competition itself? Do you think that these are good prizes, that you get to see actually the next faction that's going to be put in the game, or do you believe there could be better prizes, or do you think that there should be more to it, or do you think this is absolutely perfect competition and you think there's nothing wrong with it? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's it, guys, for today. Thank you so much for watching and always support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later and goodbye.